Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Royal Red Zone channel. It is I, your boy, your main man, Blitz Renegade, and I am back again here to review Monday Night Raw from February 24th, 2025. Oh, yes, this was a terrible episode, but we're going to review it. I'm late on reviewing it, but it's all good. I work on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then I have class on Wednesdays. So I carve out the time after class on Wednesday to be able to review this garbage. So here I am, happy to do it. Wish it was better, but here I am. If you like the channel, please hit that like button. And if you're really into this channel, hit that subscribe button. And we're growing, and we can grow together. Get in those comments and let me know what you guys enjoy from this garbage product. And yeah, we'll be good. So I guess let's jump right into it. Welcome back to the channel for those who are not new. And for those who are new, welcome to the Royal Red Zone channel. Okay, here we go. First segment. Or actually, I should start by saying they started at the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. So started off opening segment with CM Punk and Logan Paul having a promo against each other. This this was kind of doo-doo. Like Logan Paul basically just talked about how everything he does in his career he's successful at, which I mean he's right, but I just hate when they talk about real life. Like talk about, wrestling. Like wrestling's supposed to be a different dimension and a different world. Why are you talking about like your real life? Like we do understand that Logan Paul, everything he's done in like other sports, he's been, successful at, and in business and marketing, he's probably a billionaire, but no one cares. Garbage boy CM Punk comes out there, and this was just this was just terrible. I happen to be a Christian, a full believer in the Lord Jesus, in Jesus Christ, and in God, and I'm a Christian man. And this just lost me. CM Punk says that he is the devil or something stupid. So I just tuned out of this segment. I wasn't interested in it. Quite frankly, I'm not interested in CM Punk's character, and I don't really care what anyone has to say. If they want to talk down about me, or how I feel about that, I just don't think that using the devil to try to entertain is cool. It's not. So CM Punk lost me with that. Um, yeah, that segment gets a 0 out of 10 for me because of mainly that. I don't know what's up with WWE and wanting to be the devil and selling souls and all this other stuff, but that's not. I don't know. That's just not cool to me. So yeah, terrible segment. Moving on to Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta versus Pete Dunne. Another terrible match. A triple threat match with no stakes. All it was just three jobbers flying around the ring and doing a bunch of wrestling moves and breaking each other's fingers and all that stuff. But waste of our time. Um, Pete or no, Ludwig Kaiser ended up winning, but he pinned Pete Dunne. So it does nothing for anyone because it's two heels. Shout out to BC Amplified, another YouTuber I listen to heavy. He always talks about how the fans in Cincinnati didn't have any clue what was going on because they had two heels. Like when heels go against heels, all it does is just confuse the fans. So that's why the ratings are down. What does that do for Penta? Penta literally just lost the match that he wasn't even really, he shouldn't have even been in the match if he was going to take the loss. Like, what? And no one knew what to do because why would you do that? So these guys are just having wrestlers wrestle. No one wants to see that. Where's the story? This is a TV show. It's not a real sport. Everyone knows it's fake. It's not a real sport. So we need to be putting some story behind this. This was terrible because it was cool to see Ludwig Kaiser get over. But it's just like it doesn't do anything for me. Probably doesn't do anything for you either because they're just three losers. So, moving on. Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai. Once again, another face versus another face. And we all knew Lyra V was about to win. So this match didn't need to take place either. Dakota Kai, again, she can't do anything without hurting herself or someone else. So she's probably going to be taking next week off because she probably got injured in this match because she's so garbage at fighting. But yeah, it was it was just it was I didn't really watch it. I can't even lie to you. I don't watch a lot of these matches, but once again, face versus face just doesn't make any sense. Fans don't know what to do with that. In my opinion, because after the match was over, the pit bull Ivy Nile came out and attacked Lyra. Why didn't Lyra just get to beat uh Lyra V in the first place? Lyra V should have just fought Ivy Nile to begin with. But, you know, now it's actually compelling because, you have a face fighting a heel. That's what wrestling is, a good guy versus a bad guy. If you just have two wrestlers out there, both good or both bad, no one is going to you don't know who to get behind because you're just watching nonsense. And that's all that this is. It's just some straight up nonsense. And it's not going to change. You can bring in Road Dogg or you can bring in all these. Honestly, Shawn Michaels should be upgraded because he's the only one who seems to know how to book people. After that, we move backstage to Sami Zayn's nasty self cutting a promo with Kathy Kelly, or there's two of them. There's Kathy Kelly and then there's another lady too. But I think the one lady he was with Kathy Kelly this time. I think he's cutting a backstage promo with her, talking about Kevin Owens and how this time is different. Apparently, he was shedding tears about how um, he doesn't want to have to do this to Kevin. And he was talking to his mom and stuff like that. Kevin's mom. He couldn't believe that Kevin showed up to his house and all this other stuff. Like, bro, you're not convincing anyone. This is the 40 millionth time you guys have fought since the Ring of Honor days. You guys were jobbers then and you're jobbers now. I don't understand why these dudes are so pushed. Actually, I do know why they're pushed. Only because the match is in Toronto. And so it's like they got the Canada ties. But no one cares about this. No one cares who wins. It's going to be unsanctioned again, but they're going to provide a ring, a ref, a place, a venue, all that stuff, but it's unsanctioned. Next up, Braun Breaker fought versus Dom Mysterio. The match got thrown out because the Judgment Day refuses to just stay out of matches. They started beating up Braun Breaker during the match. Carlito and Finn pull Braun out of the ring, and they're just whooping him, stepping on him. Like I used to when I used to hang out with my boys back in the day. That's what we used to do to each other. We used to grab each other, throw each other around, step on each other. So this was actually a cool segment for me to watch because it reminded me of the good old days. They were stomping him out. And then Carlito and Dom are in the ring and they're doing moves to him. And of course Dom is so garbage at fighting, but he tries to like do a run. I don't know what the spot was gonna be. He had Carlito pinned up against the ring and the ropes, and then he was gonna run at him, and then of course Braun Breaker just ducks it. Like no duh, he's gonna duck it. Where else can he go? So Braun Breaker ducks it, and then he just spears the snot. He speared the absolute snot out of Carlito. Put that boy in the pavement, into the ground. Had had him laying on the floor looking dumb. And then Finn Balor comes in with his cowardly self with the chair and has to back out of the ring slowly because he knows he doesn't want the work from Braun Breaker, his spray tan self. Next up, Cody Rhodes comes out and he's coming to talk about the final Diddy wanting his booty hole. And then, of course, the visionary, Seth freaking Rollins, comes out and interrupts him while he's cutting the promo. I was actually kind of upset he interrupted his promo because Cody was getting to it. And then all of a sudden you hear, oh, And he comes out there in his little red Versace robe or whatever brand it is. His wife, I'm surprised he wasn't wearing his wife's clothes tonight. But he comes out in that, cuts his little boo-boo promo, he's basically begs Cody, do not sign with The Rock. Which this makes sense. I agree with Seth, because all the hard work that Seth did for you last week, you're just going to throw all of it away by even considering it. It's crazy to me. Even to consider that for Cody, that's stupid. And Seth is right. He should have slapped Cody. He should have slapped The Rock across the face. I apologize. Cody should have slapped The Rock across the face when he even uttered the idea of joining Team Rock. Like, what? I'm not doing that. But he didn't, because he's scared of The Rock. And all The Rock does is go out there and pander to the crowd, and then he cusses the crowd out, then he panders again. You think The Rock was on that tequila, on his little tequila that he has. But this was a nothing segment too. Killing time. Cody talking really, really, really slowly just so he can kill time. No one cares about this. All Seth went out there to say was, I'm going to beat you at Elimination Chamber, and I'm going to meet you at WrestleMania for the 800th time. And it was a bunch of nothing. So that was that. Next, we have I think I'm already to the main event. Since I'm already to the main event, I want to go back and highlight something. The Ludwig Kaiser. I forgot to touch on this. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were making claims that Ludwig Kaiser is next up, or something dumb like Ludwig Kaiser is next up. This has been a good month for him. Like, no, it hasn't. It has not been a good month for that jobber. He just lost like 5 matches in a row. And you mean to tell me that this is his month? No, it's not. Ludwig Kaiser will continue to be a jobber. Pete Dunne will continue to be a jobber. All them bums in the back are always going to be jobbers. There's nothing you can do to save face for those losers. And I forgot to mention that the New Day took on the Viking Raiders as well. And I believe that the New Day won. And then I think the LWO came out there and attacked them or something, because they started attacking the Viking Raiders. And like scared bums that the New Day are, they ran away. And I also forgot to touch on Gunther. Gunther came, believe this or not, you guys can believe this if you want to, or believe it or not, but the Ring General wrestled on Monday Night Raw. I could not believe my eyes. I had just got out of work, and I came home, turned the TV on, and that was the first segment I seen. Gunther in ring clothing. And I said, what? Shout out to my boy Nate the Great. He also has a YouTube channel. Go check him out. He he said this first. He could not believe that the Ring General was actually wearing wasn't wearing street clothes. Was actually wearing some ring attire. And I couldn't either. I'm like, this dude's about to wrestle. But then you'll never believe who his opponent was. Tozawa. Talk about, he's complimenting Tozawa, talking about, me and you have the same workload and we both are good at our jobs, and neither of you are good at your jobs, and you both need to be fired, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Both jobbers, both terrible. So that segment was stupid. He ends up they have a 50-50 match. Tozawa actually almost beats Gunther, but we all knew Gunther was going to win. And so, I mean, Gunther should be like, these people need to be on the show. If you're off the show, you're just becoming forgettable. No one cares about you if you're off the show. So in my opinion, I just feel like these people need to be on the show. Or if they're not on the show and they're not wrestling, they need to be doing something physical. Rhea Ripley cut a promo against Io Sky, saying a whole lot of nothing. Just talking about mommy's always on top, and then Io Sky cut a half Japanese, half English promo, which no one even understood. And it's just like, you could have just did a video vignette. Like, don't even come to work. They need to be on TV in segments, or actually like doing something physical, so we remember that they were even wrestling and stuff. And then you want to, like, I don't understand why these people just don't show up to work. It's the same thing in basketball and football, where they're always crying about how these players load manage, mainly basketball. We work, we pay all this money, and then you guys just want to load manage. Well, it's the same thing in wrestling. People pay way too much. I can't even imagine what the prices of Raw tickets are was in Cincinnati. They probably had to have been cheap for the way that these shows have been booked. I was thinking about going to um Elimination Chamber with one of my friends, and we were looking up the Elimination Chamber prices. You wouldn't have believed this. There were floor seats for like $130, and I was texting him like, "Man, we should go." And then he was like, I was saying to him, "I bet you they lowered the prices because there's no one cares about Elimination Chamber. They literally have Nia Jax and that one girl I don't even know, Candice LeRae versus Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Like, who? I Trish Stratus is a legend, obviously, but them other three, no one wants to see that. Like, you were gonna pay hard-earned money to go watch that filler nonsense garbage. Just dumb, 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 dumb. Nothing better to do. I just hate when they have the champion, like they have Cody and they have all these champions fighting in meaningless tag team matches. What are you like Jay Uso? That's going to happen to him when he beats Gunther. He's going to be fighting in meaningless tag team matches. So, all right, enough. Lastly, the main event, which was actually the highlight of the show. It was Naomi and Bianca versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. And there was so many false finishes to this match. Just way too many. Way too many. I don't mind false finishes. I actually think they're cool. But they need to not have so many. They need to just have like 3 or 4 would have been good. Because the way they ended off the match with her slamming her head on the top steel pipe or whatever, or the top steel post was just, it would look dumb. You mean to tell me that they kicked out of 7 or 8 finishers, but then you get your head slammed? Like, so many people get their head slammed into the post, and they're up walking around after that. Or they cut to commercial break, and they just, we don't ever see a match finish off of a turn, like you getting your head slammed on the steel pipe pole or whatever. So I just thought that was fraudulent. Last thing about that match. I'm so glad those women went out there and kicked butt because I love The Rock. I love The Rock is probably on my Mount Rushmore. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, and so Mount Rushmore is 4 people. I'm not so sure The Rock is 4, 3, or 2. I'm not sure he is. So The Rock means a lot to me, but it's just offensive what they did to the ladies last week, to Liv, Raquel, uh, Naomi, and Bianca. Those women, all 4 of them, are actually out there workhorses of the WWE. And I hear people talking about that they're trash. No, come on now, guys. Like, those are 4 women actually right now in the WWE that I respect a lot. And it's crazy to me that The Rock comes back for nonsense and gets to just take away an hour of the show. He took the end of the second hour and the beginning of the first hour, or the beginning of the third hour, from them on SmackDown, so they didn't get to have their match. And that match actually meant something going into WrestleMania season. The Rock was literally just coming out there to announce WrestleMania for New Orleans, and then he just came out there to say that just so he could build hype for the Elimination Chamber when there's no hype, there's no story, there's nothing. You don't need a corporate champion. Shout out Vince Russo. Cody is literally corporate. Cody is the baby kisser. He signs autographs. He's literally John Cena 2.0. He does everything the company needs. Why would he need to go to turn corporate and be The Rock's champion? The Rock is a face now. The Rock literally kisses up to the Netflix people. The story makes no sense. Why would The Rock want Cody to be evil when The Rock himself can't even be evil? So The Rock's on the board. The Rock is a billionaire. The Rock can't be out here acting like Kanye West. He has to uphold a good relationship with the people. He may forget it sometimes because he's drunk out there half the time, but it just makes no sense to me. And I feel so bad for those women that they actually like show up to work and they do a good job, and you have Diarrhea Dwayne, Diddy Dwayne coming back just to announce WrestleMania and needed three, a whole hour to do that. That's wrong. That's wrong of Triple H to do that to those women, and that's wrong of The Rock to do that. Like, you guys aren't that. You guys had your time. You aren't those guys anymore. Like, The Rock is electrifying and polarizing, but he didn't need to do that. Like, if you're not out, you don't even want to wrestle. You don't want to be a wrestler anymore. You even said it doesn't have to be physical. Go make your movies. Like, to be honest, we go make your movies. Uh, the product won't be fine without you, obviously. I'm not saying it will, but just go make your movies. Like, they don't need you there to be taking time away from them. He could have done it. They didn't need to put him in the end he should have been the beginning of the show, opening of the show. It's 3 hours. Like, why do you need an hour to do that? It's wrong to cut their match with when they're actually something on the show that matters. So, and then another thing that I've heard, shout out BC Amplified, talent like Naomi and Bianca and Liv and Raquel, that needs to be on the pay-per-views. Not this doo-doo 4 women just tied up in something because one lady's from Canada and Sammy and Kevin are from, like, get that off of here. No one wants to see all that. That match was great, but this show was doo-doo and garbage. I give this show probably a 2 I would probably give it a 4. I like the Braun Breaker segment. I actually did like the Seth segment. It just I don't care that much about it because, I already know that, like, with the Vince Russo thing, it doesn't make sense, but I know, like, why it was good. Because Seth, obviously, he's a hypocrite, so I like that kind of storytelling. But, I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I like that. I like I really like Braun Breaker. I'm happy that Gunther wrestled. I can't ever be mad at him for wrestling. And yeah, that's it. This gets a 4 for me. And they showed Adam Pac-Man Jones too on the screen. And you can tell WWE fans are jobbers. There were obviously no football fans in attendance. They had no clue who that man was. No pop. So a lot of WWE fans need to or Cincinnati people need to be better about knowing your legends. So, okay, that is it from your boy. I'm going to be, in my next video, I'm going to be talking about WWE and how they scammed Netflix into that $5 billion deal. Be on the lookout for that video because I actually have recordings with Triple H, Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, and just some WWE corporate people talking to Netflix, or Netflix talking to them. I'm going to put that at the beginning of the video, or maybe I'll put it at the end, but I have video footage of them talking with people of Netflix, and that will be in the video. So everybody get ready for that. It's going to be dropping right after this Monday Night Raw video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, if you liked the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Blitz Renegade is always keeping it no holds bar and no flags thrown, and sometimes no fouls drawn, but that's only on certain days. So your boy is out of here. Thank you guys for listening to my Raw review and the Royal Red Zone channel. See you guys in about 30 minutes. Peace out.